Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whenever you are. Thank you for watching this video. I'm here joined with Inti Campo.
Hello everyone, hope
Yeah.
you're having a good morning.
And we are going to be discussing a lot of interesting topics today. But before that, Inti has a few things to say.
Of course, as always, it's good to remind you that this video is for entertainment purposes only and this is not a financial advice. You should always do your own research before putting your hard-earned money on the market.
Awesome. All right, well, today is going to be interesting. Today, we're going to be talking about the mega altcoin season coming up and why, and also going to be showing you some Bitcoin dominance TA. Also, we're going to be showing you why Bitcoin TA does work. It's not BS, and why and how it works. Also, when to buy stocks, right? There will be a time to buy stocks, but I really don't think it's right now. Honestly, don't think so. Also, very important. You should grow a garden. Very important. I'm going to be reiterating on that again in this show. So, with that said, let's take off right into the charts. Let's see here. I'm going to get the charts up and running. There we go. And now here where it is. So, alrighty. It's all set. Okay. Alrighty. So let's see here. As you can see, the weekly, the last week closed green, and we're coming down after that closing green candle on the weekly. I believe this is the weekly. This is a 2 week or 2 weeks actually. Let's head to weekly. There we go. So it's same thing. We just closed a little bit down, and hopefully it doesn't look good. Honestly, I'll tell you that things do not look good. You know why, right? I see M's everywhere. Right? If we go here and we move this out of the way. We take the magnet off, right? What do we got here? We have a big, gigantic M, right? I mean, we've broken these levels here clearly, and it's just stomach wrenching when you really think about where this thing has to go before we actually possibly see a turnaround. Now, this M's not that big, which makes me feel a little bit better about it. I could say that we can do an AB equals CD from here to there maybe, and then clone that. It's not the really greatest AB equals CD, and say, hey, you know what, maybe we'll head over to, maybe we've already finished it off, but I don't think so. We're probably just going to come down here a little bit, maybe come back to the 200 moving average on the 4 hour here chart. We do have a little bit of divergence. It's just going to take a lot of it's going to take a lot to actually turn that divergence into something into a confirmed divergence. It's just not, it doesn't look good at all here. Now, with that said, I think we will have to wait and see. I mean, I don't like this 4 hour candle already turning around and giving us a scare here. Let's see here. I'm surprised it went that high. I don't remember it going that high on the charts. Let's see on the short-term time frame. Well, actually, you know what? Before we go on to that chart, oh wow, that's pretty cool. I did not see that on my charts. This is probably on the top Bitstamp. Let's see on. Oh, this must have just happened. Oh, okay, that's why it just happened. Because I was looking at trading this, thinking I should do something like that, but it just happened right now. I thought it was going to do it later last night, but it didn't. But anyways, last night in the group, in our Pandora's wallet trading group, we did a meetup there, and I was trading with everybody that wanted to trade with me on Sunday evenings. And when we started the group, we saw this trade come in, right? It was a Davil. This is called a Davil trade. Basically, it looks for an M or W in both on balance value and on the Willy and the RSI. If those two cases show up, then the closing candle, right? On that closing candle, that's where you open your trade, and then you take a 2-to-1 based on the highest point from 4 candles away. So if this is these are 4 candles away right here, the highest point's right here. So that's your stop loss, and you take well, it depends on what happened, right? It's normally 2-to-1, but on this case it was a 3-to-1. The reason why it was a 3-to-1 is because it crossed the EMA of the on balance volume. When it crossed the EMA on the on balance volume, you take a 3-to-1 because it's actually going to be doing a little bit more than that, unfortunately. so that's the safest route. Could do more. It usually does do more than 3-to-1 on that crossing of the EMA, whether it crosses down or crosses up. So that's how you can use TA in a certain way, just to take money out of the market every once in a while. This is indicating that, hey, we got a little bit more downside to go, these 3 drives, right? So you could have looked for a way to get in to take a short, and look, it gave you a nice opportunity to get into a short here. Probably at 38.2, it looks like. Yeah, if we draw, yeah, right at 38.2. You could have taken a risk to the risk to reward ratio from the 61.8 to 38.2 all the way down, and that's probably going to be a pretty decent trade. And that's what you're doing with the TA, is basically you're looking for, how am I going to take money off of the market in order to profit, and your profit must be at least 2-to-1 to what you are risking. So that means if you're wrong, right? And you're going to be wrong some of the time when trading. Just there's no absolute. If anybody comes to you and tells you, yes, I got a trading method that's 100%, just walk away. He's lying. If they say 80%, that's probably a lie. If they say 60%, all right, they're telling you the truth. So you want to take the most out of the market. The high percentage time that you are a winner. So if you could do a 3-to-1 risk to reward win, right? Actually, you can go as low as 33%, right, in order to profit from the market. So it's definitely a way to make money long as you come up with a trading method that gives you that's right more than 50% of the time. Right? You're guaranteed to walk away from the market. The only problem is your own personal discipline. In order to continue to trade, whenever you see a trade come in, are you going to take it? Are you going to be afraid to take losses? Because sometimes you're going to lose, and the only way to do that is to learn to learn how to trade, and then once you learn how to trade, you are confident in your abilities to trade. Right? Not always these indicators work. They don't always work. See right here, there's 3 drives here. It said that, hey, you know what? We got more movement upward, but it didn't work out. It went back down. This says we have more movement down. Is it going to work out? Who knows? Maybe this time it will. Maybe it won't. It will fail again. You have to accept those. That's what's going to happen. That sometimes your trading ideas are going to fail. All right. With that said, wow. I mean, this does not look good. We're below the 13 EMA. We're below the ribbon. Bitcoin wants to roll over, right? Let's hope that let's go to the daily time frame and take a look what we got here. Let's hope. Let's see here. I hate to use the word hope because it never works out when you got hope. But I'm getting more and more concerned that things are not going to turn out very well. But the minimum we need here. Oops. Let's see here. Delete that. Let's go with this. we need to stay above the $5,000 mark here. As you can see, the 61.8 is ran around here. We need to stay above that. It's better if we stay at above. We bounce off the $6,000 mark. That would be so good, so good. If we don't, we have to look towards the 61.8 as a place where we can bounce, create a nice W, and off to the races, right? Because this would be pretty much a W if we come down here, we don't go below the 61.8, and then we slowly make our ways back up. That would be a beautiful W as well, and that's what we need. We need to see W's in this market because we're not seeing any. All we're seeing is M's all over the place. I see M's everywhere, and it's disgusting. I'm tired of seeing M's. I'm tired. I want to see some W's here, right, for the win. All right. With that said, let's head over to the Bitcoin dominance. Well, as you can see, we are bouncing. We are stuck in this range between the top of the range, where if Bitcoin's dominance breaks out above here in this purple area, which is like 67-ish, 68%, we go higher than that. This can go a lot higher, probably all the way to 90% over time. If we break down. So if we break down, hey, you know what? We are going into the super cycle of Bitcoin, going a lot higher. Let's see here. Where is my pen? There we go. There it is. So basically, we want to see if Bitcoin goes above here, right? That's going to be really bad for altcoins, unfortunately. But there will be some coins in the space that does well. And if we go down, which I think we are going to break down, we're in this area. I would like to see it come and test this area, come back up and test it once more, and then break down. And then we can go into nice altcoin super cycle. Yeah, once we break this level, we're definitely going into the super cycle, the mega cycle for altcoins, and I'm looking forward to that. As you know, I'm still doing the little lady strategy. I really think that going into this basically the hyperinflation that we're going to be having, I really think that Bitcoin will have a high transaction ratio. Not transaction ratio, but oh Jesus, where's my word here? Transaction fees, basically. I think the transaction fees are going to be like 0.5% of one Bitcoin, because, as you know, a lot of people are storing a lot of people have at least one Bitcoin, and a lot of people, as we grow, as this we get closer and closer to the halving, a lot more people are just saving one Bitcoin, and they're willing to lose 0.5% on a transaction once they get to the top, to the promised land. So with that happening, a lot of smaller money will go into altcoins, and so because they're a lot cheaper, and so you'll see a lot of the altcoins just go boom in this super cycle, because people are going to go, well, I can't afford a Bitcoin, and I can't afford to buy a couple of sats. Even though Lightning Network will be available at that time, I don't think that most people go, well, I don't know if I want to do that. I want to hold this Lightning Network. What can I do with that? And there's got to be a lot of places for them to get out and to buy stuff with Litecoin. So that doesn't exist right now. I think maybe when we do get the boom, then that will start to come into fruition, but we have to wait and see. And so without that, a lot of people are going to go into altcoins, and we're just going to have a massive cycle that's going to be, it's going to be brutal for those people, because, they're going to get crushed. But hopefully they'll learn their lesson, and then they'll stick with Bitcoin, and Bitcoin will be the dominant coin over the next 10 years. All right, so finally, let's talk about the next top subject is the Dow Gold. When do you buy gold? And when do you buy the stocks? Sorry, buy stocks. Stocks, I think, are still overvalued, right? I mean, come on. If we take a look at the Dow to gold ratio, this looks like, oh my God, this thing's gonna collapse. I mean, there's M's everywhere. I think it's gonna probably draw out another M, come back up here, and then out we go. I mean, this is not looking good for the stocks, and I really think if you take the Dow to gold ratio, that's when the absolute bottom is right here. Is that the market? You can see the market bottom around 1 to 1. It doesn't show it up on this chart here because they were just like, okay, that was just too low. They didn't want to show it, and it did show up here in the Great Depression, which we're going into, of course, right? And it was at 1 to 1, but on a daily scale. This is just monthly. So we will see. I think you should start dollar cost averaging into stocks once we get to the bottom here, which is 1 to 1, finally on the Dow to gold ratio, because that's where you will see. Right now we're at the 13-ish. With the Dow, so every ounce, 13 ounces of gold can buy 1 share of the Dow, and when 1 ounce of gold can buy 1 share of the Dow, I think that's the bottom, and I think that's when you start to scale into stocks. Alrighty, so with that said, if you're interested in trading gold or Bitcoin, you can head over to Femex and just type in Femex at femex.davinci15.com, right? And for a limited time, for just this channel, we'll get people who sign up with that code will not get just $72. They'll actually get $112 bonus for Femex. And $90 for Bybit. I think Bybit has more volume and is the more mature trading platform. So I think Bybit should be the one that has the most of your money. But you should definitely diversify in these different exchanges. But before you do any of that, please learn how to trade, because man, if you don't, you're going to lose, because the market is designed to take the most amount of money from the most amount of people. So if you do that, if you want to learn how to trade, you could head over to the Rational Investor. That's where I learned how to trade. That's where Inti's learning how to trade, and he's doing a great job at that. And he loves it. Don't you think? Don't you like it over there at Try?
Of course I love it.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's an awesome place.
The community is awesome. They're really kind people and really supportive.
Exactly. So definitely a good place to start your learning exercise on trading. All right. With that said, let's head over to my tweets. Oh man, crazy. I like this tweet here and my response, right? If we're sinking, why are we 200 feet in the air? And I'm said, that's because America's the king of the world. You gotta love that joke. Oh my goodness. And then this is another one of my favorites. And you know what? I forgot to put on my headphones. The most scariest words that you could ever hear is, "We're from the government and we're here to help," right? I mean, do not trust the government.
They're on our side.
Yeah, listen to this.
They expect us to just sit here like prisoners. We should be out there.
Honey, we have to trust them, okay? This is our government. They're on our side.
Yeah, they're on your side, all right. So that, they make sure that, because, a government there to just take as much as they want. That's what they want to do, right? They will take whatever they can from you and make sure that you suffer whilst telling you, yeah, well, this is for the greater good or for the good of us, of all of us. But meanwhile, it's only for the good of the government. And so this is why you need to grow a garden, right? And not trust that your government's going to support you in this Great Depression. Now, this guy, the link in the description below, he's a little bit of like conspiracy-ish kind of thing. But so take it with a grain of salt, right? He's like a little too like, oh my God, we're all gonna die kind of dude, right? But not really. We'll be fine. Yeah, but the information here is pretty solid. That's really at least eyebrow raising. So, you know, there's a lot of things going on here where you can see, food's going to waste, right? Chickens are being slaughtered, right, and destroyed. A lot of the chickens are coming from North America, Brazil, China, and basically they're just being thrown out. He mentioned that here, and a lot of beef is being destroyed, and they're coming up with a new way to sell you beef, right? That's from plants, basically, and yeah, that's not going to go over well. But anyways, the reason why they're going to do that, right, is because basically the prices of everything will be going up extremely high, so that you can no longer afford to eat meat, and so that's coming down the pipe. And yeah, so I think you'll be able to eat meat. It's just it'll be very, very expensive very soon. So the best way to ensure that you'll be able to eat meat in the future is whenever we get some cheap Bitcoins and Bitcoin goes lower, and we're going to get some cheaper Bitcoins coming up. Oh, wow. You know what? I'm just realizing there's another M. Well, this is not quite an M because you know what? This is not higher. But you know what? If we roll over in here, and if we stay above the 6,000, we could create a W for the win. But anyways, yeah, if we get some cheaper Bitcoins, you can buy meat, no problem. Because you know what? It will be expensive for everybody else, but just not for you. Alrighty. With that said, if you want to join Pandora's, if you want to join our Telegram group, right, you can subscribe for 1 month subscription, and you'll be a permanent member for just this month. And after this month, you will not be able to be a permanent member of our Telegram group. You will have to renew your subscription. We have like the white paper for our new version of Pandora's wallet. We're going to be probably issuing a token. Not 100% sure. No guarantees on that, right? But if we do, everybody who've purchased Pandora's wallet, even after the end of this month, will be getting a full value. We'll be getting free tokens from us at full value of what they've spent. So the higher you spend, the more you spend in Bitcoins, the more tokens you're basically going to get. So if you end up paying a higher price, don't worry, you're probably going to get some rewards for that in the future. Also, if you're interested in giving us some ideas on what particular cryptocurrency you want us to add to Pandora's wallet and talk about on this show, if you purchase 2 years subscription, we will discuss that coin and do some fundamental analysis, technical analysis, and see what's possible to see if we can add it to Pandora's wallet. So if you're interested in that, that's 2 years of subscription. We'll get you that bonus. All right, now let's head over to Inti, see what kind of questions he has for us for today. Inti, what do you got for us?
Okay, so to open up, we have a super chat from Super Google Lee that said, "Do you agree with Chamat's view in the CNBC interview? Let the corrupt corporations go to bankrupt, and incompetent CEOs and investors get wrecked."
Oh yes, that was beautiful. If you don't know what he's talking about, let me see if I could bring it up. Your channel. No. I want to go to home history. Where's my history? Trending. I always like mess these things up. History, there it is. And so I'm just trying to find the video that he's talking about because it's beautiful. It's like when I heard it, I was like, yes, yes, yes. Yeah. Basically, here we go. I found it. There we go. So when I saw this, I was like, he's like talking about
the economy as well.
Hang on.
Everywhere, perhaps.
Do you
Lines,
think?
for example.
Let me.
Why? How many scheme of the economy?
Here we go.
How does that make sense in the broader scheme of the economy?
Okay, hang on.
Yes.
Why? I mean,
Hang on. Sorry.
Yes.
I didn't.
example, fail.
Yes.
Oh, hang on. Didn't get it right.
Airlines, for example, fail.
Yes.
Why? I mean, how does that make sense in the broader scheme of the economy?
Because it's not, because when you look at what it means, this is why I'm saying, like, this is a lie that's been purported by Wall Street. When a company fails, it does not fire their employees. It goes through a packaged bankruptcy, right? If anything, what happens is the people who have the pensions inside those companies, the employees of these companies, end up owning more of the company. The people that get wiped out are the speculators.
Okay, I don't want to get a copyright strike because, like, you know, they're probably going to screw me over on this. But, anyways, here, I'm going to put this in the description below, right? Because this was like, oh my God, I was like so happy when I heard that because, like, yeah, if you let companies fail, right? It doesn't destroy the company still exists. They just get rebranded, renamed. All the employees are still there. Because they have all the planes, they have all the assets and stuff like that. They just get sold to somebody else, somebody who's competent to freaking run the goddamn thing. So it just doesn't make any sense to do bailouts, right? And this was an excellent video, and I love it. No more bailouts, right? And yeah, and so, but you know what? That's not going to happen. I mean, they're going to bail out those companies. The CEOs are going to remain rich. They screwed everything up, and they are going to walk away wealthy. Period. Leave it at that. The only thing you can do, right, is just look at this and say, okay, well, I'm going to get ahead by getting in front of Bitcoin because you're going to need that, and I'm going to be selling it to you billionaire buttholes later on for a lot more money. So yeah, that's the only thing you can do, and you can do that with gold and silver as well too. So yeah, that's how I feel. All right, sorry about the little skippiness on that video. I wasn't prepared for that question, so wow, that was cool. I love that question. All right, next question.
Okay, this one's from Stacy Del Barrenice and ask, what do you think halving will do? Will the stock flow market, will the stock to flow model hold true?
Oh, well, yes. Overnight, when the halving comes, nothing's going to happen, right? I mean, maybe you might see a dump in the price of Bitcoin, but slowly but surely at the beginning, after the halving, or maybe before, we're going to start seeing Bitcoin moving slowly up. It's going to be painful. It's going to be slow. It's going to take in the time frames of 12 to 18 months. Now, you might think, well, 12 to 18 months, that's not a long time. That's not a long time. Yeah, but if you're watching it every day, it will seem like forever. Right? So consider that when you basically look at the halving and how long before we see higher highs, a new all-time high, and all that kind of stuff, and all the FOMO people coming in and trying to buy this market. It's just going to take some time, and you know what? That's great for you, because if you're a dollar cost averager and you are not interested in gambling on the different exchanges and trading this market, this gives you time to buy an asset that you're going to be selling for $100,000 sometime very, very soon, relatively soon, which is like 12 to 18 months from now. So be happy about that. I really think that the stock to flow ratio will prevail, and we will see 100K Bitcoin for the minimum. All right, next question.
Okay, this is from Andrew S. and said, I normally agree with Davinci, but the Dow is not going down to 2K to 3K. There's a president who cares way too much about the stock prices.
Yeah, who said it was going to 2K? I said it was going to the Dow and the gold would buy. So that means the Dow could stay at 220K and gold will come up to 20K. Right? Because that's a definite possibility. Right? With all this money printing, they can keep the prices high of the Dow, but that's not reality, right? And you'll see the reality reflect when you can buy the Dow with gold. So imagine that the Dow, bounces around, comes down to like 15K, comes back up to 20K, comes back down to 17K, comes up to 20K ish, right? And then all this time, gold slightly moving up, slowly moving up, all the way up to 20K. That's a possibility. That could possibly happen. And all that time, you're thinking, well, the Dow's doing okay. It's not going crazy down, right? You're thinking, look at that. Dow's not dumping as much as people think it should dump. Yeah, well, there you go. I mean, it could. We don't know where it's going to meet. We know they will meet, and they could meet at like 10,000, for example. It could be Dow 10,000 and gold 10,000, but they're going to meet, and because gold always does an accounting for all the damage you've done to the economy through credit cycles, so massive credit cycles. So it will come down to a 1-to-1, and you need to be ready for that, and that's when you start to buy you start to buy into stocks, right? And it doesn't, just as long as I think you can take ownership of the stocks, making sure that that there's not you're not doing it through your retirement fund, because I can guarantee they're probably going to take that. They're going to take all that, but they won't take personal, like if you hold it through a corporation. So if you create a corporation in the United States and you trade stocks through that, it's much better than doing it through your retirement fund. Way better. Because I bet you any money, because you already know what the game is. We bail out the rich and they screw the poor and they screw the middle class. That's the game, right? So don't be surprised if your retirement funds, your whole 401k, your IRA, your whatever you think is tax protected is not, because it's going to probably be gone, right? That's a high probability of that, because they always screw you and leave you with the bag, holding the bag, and they make sure that their rich friends are taken care of. Of course, they're going to say, well, no, we're doing this for your own good, right? Because, you lost so much money and we want to take care of you. They'll always tell you that. They'll always tell you they're here to take care of you. And it'll always look like a good deal at first, but it always ends up being a bad deal in the end. And so the best way to deal with stocks is, I would suggest it once you make enough money with Bitcoins or stuff like that, or any kind of asset that you build up wealth over time, you start creating a corporation, playing the same game, so that you are not a victim, right? You are a beneficiary, okay? Don't be a victim of this scam, of this government, of all governments around the world, basically. Be an opportunist of this current system and use it to your advantage. Don't let it use you. All right, next question.
Okay, this is from Tennis Fever online and ask, hey Davinci, I wanted to ask you, what are your thoughts about futures contracts on Bitcoin, and how much do they inflate Bitcoin? Thank you.
Futures contracts, and they don't inflate Bitcoin because they're just a form of gambling. So imagine you go into a casino and they say, okay, let's place your bets. We're going to roll the dice and see which price the Bitcoin lands on. And is that going to affect the price of Bitcoin? No, it doesn't really. It actually takes away from the value of Bitcoin, because what happens is those people betting on the Bitcoin price are not affecting the price, positive or negative. And they're mostly doing it negatively, actually, because what tends to happen if you bet against the house too much that Bitcoin's going higher, they're going to take that money and use it to actually push the price of Bitcoin down, so that they can be the winner. The house can be a winner, and that's what the futures market is all about, right? Helping to push the price of Bitcoin down, and they seem to be doing a great job of it. Yes, they push the price up as well in order to make it easier to push the price down, basically. So they have unlimited money. This casino, they never go broke, and it's really a negative on our system, on our Bitcoin, for Bitcoin. But it's not the end all and be all. People will be coming in to take possession of Bitcoin, and eventually that supply that's available for direct trading will dry up as more and more people take Bitcoins off the market and put them in their hardware wallets and hold it. And then finally, the only way to reconcile the small amount of Bitcoins being traded in the market is to increase the price significantly, and so they're going to be screwed. But they'll add new features in order to help control the price, and one of the new features that they will add is ETF, right, where they will promise to hold people's Bitcoin for them, and obviously not. All right, next question.
All right, this is from Super Megaton and asks, if alt Bitcoin if alt slash Bitcoin is bullish and Bitcoin slash US dollar drops, will alt slash USD rise also, or just maintain their USD value?
If the US dollar drops, will the alts maintain their value? Is basically the question, right?
I think.
Yeah. Okay. So, well, I really think that the alts are going to hold value because they've just been following Bitcoin pretty solidly, and so as Bitcoin rises, it's just going to be one of those things that floats all boats, basically, in the cryptocurrency universe. And so you'll see significant value in whatever alt you have in your bags. It will, as long as it doesn't go to zero, they're going to float. They're going to float up big time. And so, it's going to look good for whatever altcoin that you have, you think that's going to be the next Bitcoin. Long as there's continued development and the team continues to work on it, it will do well. All right, next question.
All right, this is from D Wave, and ask, Davinci, knowing what you know, if you get a second shot to get to the back to the 20s, what would you do different?
If I were to get a second shot to go back to the 20s?
Yes, I didn't understand that question actually.
I wasn't born in the 20s, but
I know. I don't know. I thought it was if we got a shot to the 20s, what would be different? Because with the new Great Depression coming, with a new pandemic, it's like all history repeating itself. That's what I thought.
Yeah, I guess you could say, right, we are repeating where we are from the 1918, basically, where we had the pandemic, and Germany lost the World War, and it started inflating its currency, and it inflated the currency into the war, after the war, and then it started to go up in value. Actually, when shortly afterwards, after the pandemic, it started to go up in value, and then it started to collapse during the 20s, and we're probably going to see that happen with the U.S. dollar, basically, and that's what I think what's going to happen. And we are positioned correctly, basically. If you're in gold, if you're in silver, if you're in cryptocurrencies, you are positioned correctly. So be happy. So, by the way, please click the like button on this video and also on the last video. Let's just see how many likes did we get there on the last video. I have like almost 10,000 views on the last video. I will post it in the link in the description. Please head over to that video. I'm gonna actually put it in the chat room, and hit the like button on this video, because you know what, I want to give away 5 Pandora's wallet subscriptions for free to random viewers. So please head over to that video that I've just put into the chat group and hit the like button, so we can get that up to 1,000 likes, and then hit the like button on this one, and so we get this up to 1,000 likes, and then we're like we've got 2 videos with 1,000 likes, and we're on our way to giving away the Pandora's wallet subscription. I really want to give them away, so hit the like button, please. All right, next question.
All right. Okay. People in the chat are saying that I got the question badly, and it wasn't a shot back to the 20s. It was a shot back to your 20s when you were 20 years old. What would you do different if you were 20 again?
Okay, what would I do differently if I was 20 again? Well, when I was 20, I was broke, and I didn't have a lot of money, and I'd like to scratch that. I was making quite a bit of money, actually. Now that I think about it, I was selling chocolates, believe it or not. It sounds kind of weird, right? But basically, it's a long story. Jesus, long story. I'm gonna have to save that one for another video, because it's such a long story and it's so funny. When I tell people this story, they're like, "What?" Americans can't believe it, right? When I tell them this story, they like, yeah. Once I'll do another. I'll dedicate a whole video for that story, because it's out of this world.
Spoiler: this only happens in Canada.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when I never really thought about it because I'm Canadian, right? That how crazy it was, but it just seemed like, yeah, of course that's okay. But in America, you would have been shot. But anyways, moving on to the answering the question. Really, what I would do is I'd definitely be investing. I would do things differently. I wouldn't go crazy with buying a bunch of stereo equipment and stupid things for my long-term savings. In fact, I would do this something simple, right? 10% of my money that I have, I'd save for retirement, and 10% I'd save for short-term, whatever I want. And I would allocate that 10% into gold, silver, and if cryptocurrencies were around, I'd buy that too as well. But back then, cryptocurrencies didn't exist, so I would be holding physical gold all the way through. And I wouldn't have gotten near stocks at all, only because of the volatility and the fact that you actually would have lost out in the long run, anyways, through inflation. And so, yeah, I would stick with hard assets until we go through the next cycle of collapse, and then slow grind higher, right? We have to collapse this whole market cycle because it's built on credit, and it's just not sustainable. All right, next question.
All right, this is from DW, and says, "What do you think Cardano has a chance competing with Ethereum? If successful, what future price range do you see?"
Cardano?
Yes.
Competing with Ethereum?
Yes.
Thank you for that good laugh. That's a good one.
The answer there.
That's a good one. That was like that. Thank you for that good laugh, man. I felt really good about that. I mean, they are so far off from Ethereum. Is not funny, right? I mean, take a look, man. Can you find books on Cardano? Like lots of books, lots of educational material, everything you can to learn. Do you have groups of people setting up and discussing about how to program for Cardano? No. So they are so light years behind Ethereum. It's laughable. right? Let's talk about it in a couple of years and see where they are at, and then we'll talk about whether or not they can catch up to Ethereum if they have produced a big enough community of developers and book writers and so forth. But they're nowhere near it, so it's not going to happen. It's not like they're going to go to zero or anything tomorrow or anything like that, but yeah, I mean, as long as they're around for the next bull cycle, they'll do well. All right, next question.
Okay, this is from Winjaka, and ask Davinci, if the dollar becomes digital, control and censor, how we will be able to exchange it to Bitcoin and vice versa?
No, just be easier, right? I mean, imagine being able to deposit into an exchange, right, without waiting 5 days.
So it's logical to me.
Wouldn't it be a lot easier if that was the case, right? I mean, you'd be able to, like, if you imagine you were able to deposit to an exchange instantly and sell instantly as well to Bitcoin. This is a positive case for digital dollars, right? So it means that we will hyperinflate the money a lot faster because you can move it faster. It's just ridiculous to think that this is a positive case for the dollar. It's not. It's not at all. All right, one more question, and then we'll call it a day.
One more question. Okay, this is from me because I've seen many people saying, what if Satoshi comes to the market with his million BTC? What if governments get the 51% of cash power? What if Bitcoin becomes illegal? And the question is, does that really concerns you when you are an investor? Does the ifs
Yes.
concerns you when you are an investor, or are you more focused on the actual facts?
What if a planet-killing asteroid hits us? What if, we find a way to mine gold out of the ocean, not through an asteroid, because, it's a lot closer and it's easier. Right.
Actually, why is it really close next month? So beware of that.
What if President Trump buys all the Bitcoins? What if the Federal Reserve decides to buy all? I mean, yeah, all those ifs are just like too out there to put it into your trading plan, right? It's just to even concern yourself. I mean, yeah, is it possible that an asteroid could kill us all? Yes. Are you going to plan for it? No. Is it possible that Satoshi buys all the bitcoins, comes up with 1 million bitcoins and sells it all? Yes, but are you going to plan for it? Because it's not likely. Even if he does come, he's not going to sell them. He's not going to sell them all to the market. That's just dumb, right? He's going to be just a rich man spending a small amount at a time. That's it. I mean, that's the logical thing for him to do, not the illogical thing of selling them all, right? So, I mean, this if is unlikely. All these ifs are possible, but unlikely. So why plan for them, right? So, yeah, it just doesn't make any sense to make all these, EMP ifs and solar flare ifs and, hey, the sun might explode if. Okay, come on. Let's live in a little bit of reality here, and focus on what is the most likely outcome. Because even if the government of the United States does ban it, they can't have it banned in every parts of the world. So that's that. All right. Well, wow. I noticed that we have 800 viewers. Thank you very much. Yeah. Please, once again, hit the like and subscribe button. We are slowly moving up to the 100,000 subscribers. I'd really like to get to 100,000 subscribers sometime soon. So if you are coming on to watch this video and you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and help out this channel. All right. Well, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, and if you haven't seen this video popping up right here or right here, right, please check it out.
Wait a second.
What?
Wait a second. I feel terrible because the moment I said that question, it came two new super chats. So
Yeah.
I will save them for next video. I never delete the super chats.
Okay, perfect. Save them for the next video. Thanks, and check out the video up here. Cheers.
Bye.